Full name, Janice Marie Cooksey Davis. I go by Jan. When Ed and I first married 26 years ago, he fell in love with theater and was fortunate enough to go to what then was SUSC, home of the Utah Shakespeare Festival, and worked with Fred Adams, the founder, and just got bit by the bug, but in a serious way. So he decided to change his major and go for a master's in theater. Getting his degree, he then taught as a theater professor and fell in love with it and loved working with the kids. Well, during the course of all this, one of Ed's responsibilities as a professor of theater was to find summer employment for his theater students. Not a difficult thing to do, but more and more he found that when these kids were coming back in the fall, they were dropping out of the theater program. And finally, one year, it was a family, two sisters that we'd been working with for several years, and they just said, we're going to switch our majors. And Ed said, well, you're both so talented. One was Marnie. And they said, if this is what real theater is, this is not what we want. Because the language is so bad, and the drinking and the drugs, and it's just it just draws this extreme lifestyle, which is true for theater.
I had always wanted to have a summer stock theater company, and so I talked to Jan and I said, I think we need to do this so there can be a place actors can go that have different values than the world.
And so Ed had always felt a drawback to these Idaho mountains where he was born and raised to come back and open a theater, and so he started saying, "Hun, maybe it's time to just give up the teaching and go open our own theater, but make it a theater that's built for families."
Well, I think, it gives those kids who are interested in the arts an opportunity to participate in a safe environment, that parents can know when they send their kids to Starlight what type of values we have, and feel comfortable in sending their kids.
When the time was right, he retired from the university. We sold our home. We packed up our 15 kids and drove here to Idaho and bought the 18 acres that Starlight sits on, and took a year to build the theater and get everything in place. That was summer of 1999. So summer of 2000, we opened the doors to Starlight.
Well, probably the most popular one we've done is Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And we've done Oklahoma numerous times, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Annie Get Your Gun, the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Not every child is going to be Joe Jock. Not every child is going to be a pro football player or star athlete, but I have yet to meet a child who can't be a star on stage.
My name is Mackenzie Petterson. Right now we're in rehearsals for Singing in the Rain, and I am playing Lena Lamont. She's just like this big movie star in the silent pictures, and they start adding talking to it, and she just has this horrible voice. Oh Pierre, you shouldn't have come! And it's just horrible.
This is actually my first summer here at Starlight. I got into it through an audition at the university that I go to. I go to Southern Utah University down in Cedar City. The auditions there and brought me up. And I'm actually playing Don Lockwood, which is a very daunting and kind of terrifying task. I grew up watching these movies and love Gene Kelly and tap dancing, and I'm very excited to be able to play this part.
I have been with Starlight since 2004, so 7 years, I think.
The great thing about Starlight is they really encourage like creativity, and you get to add your own thing to all the characters.
I love storytelling in any way, shape, or form, and being able to kind of transport people to a very different time period, different style, and just a different rhythm than what they face on a day-to-day basis is really exhilarating.
What I love about Starlight is just the family atmosphere that we have, that it's a family-friendly organization. I love being able to share stories and lessons with people through the stage and through acting and getting to sing and dance, and to expand my own talents as well as being able to share that with others.
Starlight is a great creative environment.
By offering our community an entertainment choice that is, at least we try to make it, always uplifting, always positive, always family friendly, that their kids can grow up knowing that there is such a thing as good entertainment, and you don't have to use the F word, and you don't have to smack somebody around, and you don't have to have sex scenes, and you don't have to be vulgar, that you can be happy, sad, jubilant, all those emotions we talked about before in a perfectly moral way.
You know, a lot of what we do is to educate young kids in acting, but I think everybody can have a positive experience on the stage, you know, and build confidence. So I think it fills a niche in the community, a needed one, and that's what we're trying to do.